Have you ever observed how you hardly exist in someone else's mind while they can remain there forever? If you've watched this film, you undoubtedly have a certain individual on your mind. Even when you try to focus on other things, you remember them every morning when you wake up from restless nights. However, reality is painful. You are stuck in an emotional maze of delusion, confusion, and suffering because that person never looks for you, never takes the initiative, and never displays the intensity you feel all the time. Here at Delete Psychology, we uncover the hidden processes that underlie human behavior. Well, learn today what it actually means when someone is gloriously absent from your reality but lives in your mind universe. We won't sugarcoat anything. We're going directly to the unvarnished psychological reality that your heart must comprehend. Before we go any further, if this message strikes a deep chord with you, please hit like and subscribe for further insights into human psychology and emotional connections. I assure you that what you'll learn will fundamentally alter your viewpoint. Now let's get started. This is the first fact that a lot of people avoid confronting. Someone doesn't disappear from the map when they are genuinely interested in you. They don't leave you in a state of perpetual uncertainty. They don't engage in emotional games of coming and going. A concept known as the principle of minimum effort is identified by behavioral science. In essence, certain people find they can sustain your interest and commitment without actually exerting much effort. When it's convenient for them, they remember you. They get in touch with you when you're bored. Just when you're ready to escape, they re-emerge. Because you continue to reply, this strategy is effective. His desires are clear to him. He just finds the current state of affairs comfortable. He doesn't need your commitment or constant presence in order to obtain your emotional investment, your unwavering attention, and perhaps your devotion. True love is not represented by this. It's intimacy masquerading as comfort. So why is he still controlling your thoughts? Due to the fact that your brain is attempting to solve an unsolved puzzle. According to studies on the Zeigarnik effect, people get fixated on unfinished things. Not because he is your perfect mate, but because the story is still open, your mind keeps coming back to him. But this situation has more nuance. This is the portion that is both painful and transformative. You need to realize something important when someone doesn't actively seek you out, set up meetings, give you security, or prioritize you, but you can't stop thinking about them. You're not in love with who they really are. Their projected potential has captured your heart. When they demonstrated true presence, your mind created an idealized representation based on ephemeral bits. That time you spoke. Until daybreak. That intense gaze you shared. That momentary electric connection you felt. Let's face the underlying psychological truth, though. Instead of using objective data, our mind fills in the blanks with our desires. Projective idealization is a psychological phenomenon. We unconsciously project our own values, objectives, and hopes onto those who are emotionally distant from us. We create an idealized version that never was. At the same time, the real person, that man who doesn't get in touch with you, is showing you exactly who he is by his actions, or, more precisely, by his lack of actions. Truths that words purposefully conceal are communicated through actions. You would see it in his everyday behavior, not only in your optimistic feelings, if he truly desired to play a major role in your life. But hold on, because the explanation that follows will be even more insightful. We now delve farther. Sometimes it's not truly about the missing person when we can't stop thinking about them. It has to do with us. When something inside of us needs immediate attention, we often cling to emotionally distant people, according to psychological study on attachment patterns. It might stand for intense loneliness, low self-esteem, fear of being alone, or a strong need for praise from others. Think honestly. When this individual became so important to you, what were you going through? Did you notice any notable changes? Did you experience emotional insecurity or confusion? Often, we attach to someone because they momentarily fill an emotional gap rather than because they are exceptional. And now for the illuminating revelation. It will never be sufficient to use someone else to make up for your emotional shortcomings, since individuals are trip companions, not miracle cures. Furthermore, only from a point of personal fulfillment, never from a state of desperation, can meaningful partnerships be formed. If you find yourself thinking about someone who doesn't exist all the time, ask yourself honestly, what void am I trying to fill through this non-existent person? Your perspective might be totally transformed by the solution. However, there is another aspect that you must completely comprehend before considering what steps to take. This brings with it an especially unsettling reality. Some males are fully aware of the strategic actions they are taking. Maybe he sends you messages in the early morning instead of giving you a call. Maybe he makes broad assurances that you'll spend time together soon but never confirms specific plans. He might vanish for weeks at a time, then reappear just as you're starting to move forward, with just the right amount of charm to keep you emotionally captivated. In relational psychology, this is described as breadcrumbing, offering just enough tidbits of interest to keep you engaged without actually committing. Why do some males use this tactic? Sometimes it's a sign of an exaggerated ego. They take pleasure in knowing that someone is thinking about them all the time. Sometimes it symbolizes crippling terror. They don't want you entirely, but they also don't want to lose you. And sometimes, to be honest, it's a sign of pure selfishness. While you wait patiently in the background, they want to keep a variety of options accessible. The heartbreaking thing is that he just enjoys the present time without any obligations or responsibilities, while you fantasize of a shared future. But there is real hope, and it comes from taking back control of your own destiny. Let's review what it really means when someone lives in your head all the time yet never communicates with you. It indicates that you are holding on to a manufactured fantasy. It indicates that your brain is attempting to finish a narrative that he has previously purposefully abandoned. It indicates that you are devoting important emotional energy to someone who does not return the favor. In essence, it indicates that it's time to focus that strong energy on yourself. What you should know about the psychology of healthy relationships is as follows. When someone truly cares about you, they don't leave you wondering all the time. They don't force you to compete for meager attention. They don't make you feel like a backup plan. Genuine love is steady, open, and harmonious. He's not afraid of commitment, emotionally confused, or professionally busy if he doesn't get in touch with you on a regular basis. It's because he isn't picking you the way you deserve to be. Furthermore, that doesn't represent your inherent worth. It shows how inadequately he was able to identify it. What are you doing today, then? First, understand that having a true connection with someone does not equate to thinking about them all the time. They stand for very distinct and diverse realities. Secondly, deliberately shift your important focus. Every time you find yourself thinking about him, deliberately shift your thoughts to something that actually enhances your life, your objectives, your personal development, or the individuals that genuinely show up for you on a regular basis. Third, determine the required separation. Remove any visual reminders if they are really necessary. Put an end to your compulsive social media monitoring. Give up waiting for his final message. Give your mind the room it needs to fully cleanse itself of him. Lastly, give yourself permission to intentionally let go, not because he is a bad person, but because you deserve someone who never makes you question your value. You deserve someone whose tangible deeds precisely reflect your profound emotions. The right individual will live in your actual everyday life as well as your imagination. If this video had a profound effect on you, please hit like and forward it to someone who really needs to hear this message. For additional psychological insights into human behavior, relationships, and love, subscribe to Delete Psychology if you haven't already. Please leave a remark below. Have you ever held to someone who didn't show you any emotion? Which tactics ultimately enabled you to proceed? Your own story would be fascinating to hear. I appreciate your participation, and I'll see you in the future video.